Well, welcome to Married to Real Estate.
We got to get that name right.
So things change, and I was asked to sit on the other side of the table today. So
Yeah, we had to switch things up a little bit.
hopefully it doesn't throw me off too much.
Keep things exciting.
Don't know what to do with
Just
mine.
sit still.
Okay.
There you go. Don't bang the table.
Yes, ma'am. So you want to buy a house, mid-stable house, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how you should proceed at the very beginning about buying a house. So off to you, and
Yes.
let us know your thoughts on that.
Okay, well, a lot of the whole process of searching for a home, you can really eliminate a lot of time and a lot of stress by just spending an extra hour to 2 hours up front. And so we have a specific process that we go through with our buyers to help ease fears, to make sure we're looking for the right things, and to make sure that everything fits in the parameters of what the buyer is looking for. So, what we've found is that there are the greatest four fears of a buyer are losing the house, missing something, FOMO,
Sure.
paying too much,
Absolutely.
or, what's wrong with it? Something's wrong with the house that they like. And so those are the big four fears. And by having a meeting up front and reviewing everything, it's really a great way to eliminate each one of those.
Absolutely.
Right? So really what we suggest to our clients is that we sit down for an in-person meeting. So at the office, at a coffee shop, but just so that we can sit down and review the process, especially if they're coming in from out of town and they don't know the area. So we want to just make sure that they're comfortable with us and us with them, right?
Sure.
So we're going to ask them a series of questions just to get a better sense of their wants. So there's wants and needs, but we really want to get a sense of what they're looking for and areas, and just again asking them about the family, occupation, their dreams, their recreation. How is their lifestyle going to fit into everything, right?
Drive times.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Where are you going to be working? How far? What's the commute?
Exactly. So it's not just about the house, 4
Sure.
bedrooms, 2.5 baths, half an acre. It's a lifestyle.
Yes, ma'am.
So the next thing we're going to do is review the funnel process. And, just everybody can picture a funnel. So you got a nice wide top, and then it's going to go down and narrow down where we drill down. And the way we advise our clients is we tell them that buying a home and selecting that home, it's more a process of elimination than selection. And that's going to address the fear of missing out on something. So that FOMO, we're going to start it wide and then drill down. And that should address that fear of, what if I miss something? Well, we're not going to miss anything.
Right. It's been fun to watch the process over the years with certain clients, work their way through the funnel. And you kind of have an idea where they're going, but you let them work themselves to get there.
Right.
It's enjoyable.
It is. It's a good process on both sides of the table. So, and that's another thing that leads into the next step, which is really doing an exercise with the buyers of what I call their dream home. Wave a magic wand. What would a perfect house look for you? And what we want to do is find out with them, not only what the needs are, but what are the wants, and how, we're going to really drill down in this exercise to figure out what are they looking for. And, on the flip side of that, so once we have that down, so let's say we're dealing with a couple and, one wants, they say they want to live on a golf course. And then the other one say that it's got to be 4 bedrooms, and the first floor has to be large because they entertain. So all of that is a process. And then the next step is really looking at those wants and discovering the why. Why do they want 4 bedrooms? Why do they want to be on a golf course? Did you know, Joe, that
You lost me a golf course.
I know. I saw the eyes go. But with a golf course, 80% of people who live on a golf course don't golf.
No.
It's true.
Wow.
It is. I saw the facts. So fact checker, just check it out.
I'm coming back.
But why do you think they want to live on a golf course?
For the views?
Views,
Yeah.
space,
Yeah,
privacy,
sure.
especially if they back to a golf course.
Sure.
And so that is more of the why. I know it sounds crazy, but and especially in a lot of communities, sometimes it's gated, it's exclusive.
Sure.
They want to be part of a country club,
Yeah.
networking, business. So
Right.
it was a surprise to me as well.
I get it.
And then another example, a 4-bedroom. We need a 4-bedroom. But well, why do you need a 4-bedroom? No, the kids are gone. They wanted 2. this is just an example recently. They wanted 2 rooms with their own bathrooms in it. So 2 suites, a first floor master, another suite. They had out of town guests that they wanted. And then they each wanted an office. Well, that's different, than 4 bedrooms. They wanted 2 ensuite rooms for guests and themselves, as well as 2 rooms to serve as offices, or perhaps a large room over a garage where there could be a shared office.
Sure.
So that opens up a lot more possibilities. So now at this point, that's where we're really going to talk to them about financing. Now that we know what they want and why they want that, so we're developing that funnel. Now we want to talk to them about financing. Are they purchasing with cash? Are they using a loan? Are all the pieces in play? Are they getting any borrowed funds or gift money? To put all the pieces in play and to look at the MLS, let's say, what they want is going to fall in the price range of $750,000. And initially they were wanting to look in Potomac. Well, that's not going to work. So in our area, Potomac, Maryland, if you want a house of that size, your budget's going to need to be a lot more. So at this point, we're like, well, if you still want all of those things, we can go out farther. Or perhaps some of the wants, are you willing to give up a half acre? Could you do a 1/4 acre or 1/10 of an acre? Maybe that would bring it back down into line as far as, what we call the cost of commuting. So it's important to address that now and to make sure all the pieces are. And plus, the buyer will feel a little more confident at this point talking about financing than prior to not, knowing what they want, because in their minds, they're thinking, well, I don't know how much I want. And if I do this, am I going too high, or if I go too low, will I miss out on something that I want?
Sure.
So it's really important to figure out all of these previous steps before talking about financing. And then finally, it's, what are our next steps? So now that we know what we want, what we need, the areas that we're looking at, what's going to happen next? And that's really going over the process, talking to the buyers about how there is not a perfect home. So most of the homes out there, they're going to fit, like that 85% house. It's going to fit 8 out of 10 of their needs, or maybe more, maybe 9 out of 10. But even people who decide they want to build their house because they can't find what they want the perfect house. How many times have we talked to somebody who builds a custom home and they're still, there's still something wrong with it.
Sure.
So I stand, there is no such thing as the perfect house. And then at that point, we're going to prepare the buyers, letting them know that about 50% of our buyers, I would say, when we take them out, will find the house they want on the first outing. I mean, it really, it happens. And that it gives the buyer permission to be like, okay, it's going to be okay.
Right, because through the process, they had eliminated a lot of other things.
Exactly. And we're looking online, and even before we go out to see the properties to get everything pulled together. And then, of course, we're wanting to be ready to act. So next steps involve, making sure they have fully applied for the loan, to get all their documents in place, that we have that pre-approval letter and gone farther, perhaps with an initial underwrite, so that when that house comes up, there's nothing standing in the way.
Right.
And then,
ready to go.
Exactly. And then, of course, going through negotiations, that's going to really go over what the fear of something wrong with the house. So we're going to negotiate, we're going to do inspections, and they will be confident that if something's wrong with the house, that they can walk away if needed, and we'll find the next one to go.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's really, in some, it's a quick, 7-step process to pull it all together, and again, to eliminate those fears that the buyer has. And it is an interesting market. So I think right now there's a window in time where sellers are giving concessions, and some sellers are giving some concessions. But still, we're seeing if houses are priced right and they're looking good, they are not staying on the market long, and there's not many concessions to be had.
So it sounds like you've been able to check 9 of my 10 boxes, but I can't have a house on a golf course in Potomac for $750,000.
No, I'm sorry. That's just not going to work. We're going to have to look way out there. So.
Okay.
But so anyway, I mean, if you or your friends and family are looking for some good advice and need to work their way through the process, we are happy to help. You can find us at sablehouseteam.com. We're all excited. We're getting a new website coming up soon, which should be much easier to navigate and better serve our clients.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.